Welcome to we're doing our work in class. Each evening you should come to this site and watch a tutorial on how to form a lowercase and an uppercase cursive letter. We will start with A and work all the way through Z. Each night you will watch the tutorial, then you will be responsible for practicing that letter formation on your own. You can do this through any media you choose, whether it be paper, pencil, screenshot, Creations, however you want to present it to me the next day to show that you have mastered forming those cursive letters. So, we're going to get started today with the letter A. I will always do the lowercase first and then follow with the uppercase. Now, just like in foundations that you've had in kindergarten, first and second grade, we are going to refer to the line the exact same way. So imagine that's your notebook paper. This will be your skyline. This will be your plane line. Sorry, there. And then this will be your grass line. Okay, I'm going to start over and make that a little bit neater. Sky, grass, and plane. Okay. So for the lowercase a, we are going to start on the grass line. So we point to the grass line and we glide up toward the plane line, kind of like a roller coaster a little bit. Important thing with cursive writing is that we never pick up our pencil or our finger or whatever writing utensil we're using. So even though it's going to look like I'm stopping, that's just for the sake of teaching you. But once we practice, you'll see that I don't pick up my writing utensil at all. So after we point at the grass line and glide up to the plane line, then we stop around 2 o'clock. If we imagine that this was, what I can do here, if we imagine this was a clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock would be here, 3 o'clock would be here, 1 and 2. So you can see that I kind of stopped right around 2 o'clock on my letter A. Okay? Alright, so we pointed to the grass line, glided up to about 2 o'clock on the plane line. We're now going to trace back around on that same line and then around to the grass line. Kind of looks like a letter C, and you'll find when we learn all these letters that a lot of them form very similarly to other letters. Okay, and we're going to follow that straight up to the plane line. That's my writing book so you can see that. Then we're going to trace that back down again to the grass line, and we're going to make a tail. So you can see there, it looks very, very similar to the letter A you're used to forming, but we just have these little fancy tails that we add. Okay, you should notice also that cursive writing has a slant to it. I'll do this again so you can see how I form it regularly. And it should have a little bit more of a slant as I'm writing normally. Okay? So, for your independent practice, you need to do this same thing here and form your letter, lowercase letter A, several times, showing me, starting and swooping up to that plane line. I shouldn't see any gaps like I have here, but I should definitely see the slant in your writing, and I should see the tails in the front and the back. Because like I said, with cursive writing, we never lift our writing utensil. If I were to write cat, it's all very smooth and connected. My writing utensil never leaves the paper until I'm finished writing, then I can go back but you can see the slant of each letter, how we have those tails, and how everything is connected along the way. Okay, so that was the lowercase letter A. And we're going to look at the uppercase letter A. It will be pretty similar, not exactly the same, but pretty close. Instead of starting on the grass line, we are going to start at the skyline this time. Okay, so we're going to point at the skyline and go back on the skyline a little bit and down and around to the grass line and all the way up again to the skyline. Okay, so kind of a slanted oval there. We're going to trace down that same line without making any gaps like I'm making with my finger here. Trace down and make your tail. So you can see it's almost exactly the same as a lowercase a, but obviously it's bigger, and we don't start from down here where we did on the lowercase a, we start at the skyline instead. So one more time, go to capital, we'll start at the skyline, around the grass line and back up, and trace back down that same line and make a tail. Okay, again, I should see the slant, I should see the tail, and I should not see any gaps there. Very important to trace down exactly without those gaps, otherwise you start looking like you have two different letters, or letters that you didn't need to form. So, there you have lowercase and uppercase letter A. Have fun, be creative on how you're going to present that to me tomorrow.